Hello, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Sorry, don't know where to look. Sometimes I feel weird looking into the camera. Anyway, so as the title says, this is me clearing out my browser. So I often find that I don't have enough time to go through all the articles on my phone, and I really wish that I could. So I'm now going to go through that and show you guys what I've been collecting. I've got up to 30 pages this time, so this will probably be an ongoing thing. So I'll try and keep it the same name and same thumbnail if I can. So if you see it and you like this kind of stuff, then go for it. I do have quite varied interests, everything from, well, you'll see. So let's start. First one, my son, double tab open. My son really liked this, and it reminded me of another thing that I liked. So if any of you have kids, I would suggest going to this place and you can read a story to them at night time. Now, you don't even have to read, just plays it. And I was very surprised that this started going into up, down, strange charm, top, bottom, quarks, bosons, fermions, and how they're all interconnected. And to be honest, I found it like overly complicated for me to keep an eye on, but he loved it. He asked for it a second night in a row, so whether or not that's going to be beneficial to him in the future or not is another thing, but yeah, I thought it was very cool. It reminded me of this other one that I think is...
Good morning, John. I can already hear the music building up beneath me, so I should probably just stop talking. This song is about quarks. I wrote it. It's called Strange Charm.
A quark is a fundamental constituent of matter observed in 1968 through deep elastic scatter. We found that protons aren't as simple as we thought. We thought they were solid particles, but they are not. Protons, in fact, are made up of 3 separate pieces. It just gets more confusing as our knowledge increases, but that is what a quark is. It's a piece of a proton, and they also make up other things, including a neutron. Oh, up, down, strange charm, top, bottom. If you don't know what a quark is, it don't matter, you still got them. And with leptons and bosons, unless something's amiss, they make up everything that we can see and that we know exists. Things made up of quarks, including protons and neutrons, are composite particles that physicists call hadrons. Many types of hadrons are theoretically described, but most exist for only very brief amounts of time. Quarks have electric charge, color, charge, mass, and spin, and having color charge means they exist solely inside of other kinds of particles and cannot exist alone, which is why quarks have never been studied on their own. Up, down, strange charm, top, bottom. If you don't know what a quark is, it don't matter, you still got them. And with leptons and bosons, unless something's amiss, they make up everything that we can see and that we know exists. Quarks can join together in 2 different ways, baryons and mesons, but most instantly decay. If a particle has 3 quarks, then it's a baryon, and if there's 1 quark and an anti-quark, then it is a meson. These tiny bits of matter are part of almost everything, and there is no unified theory to make it less confusing. But the fact that we've identified that they exist at all is so goddamn remarkable that I just sit in awe. Oh, up, down, strange charm, top, bottom. If you don't know what a quark is, it don't matter, you still got them. And with leptons and bosons, unless something's amiss, they make up everything that we can see and that we know exists.
I like that song. That's a good song. I hope that you all enjoyed it too, and you can listen to it anytime by going to dft.ba/quarks. And that's possible.
This guy's awesome. I love him and his brother. They're amazing, and oh wow, 13 years ago. I've listened to this song probably 100 times. Yeah, well, I sing that to myself, and now I'm finding that my son likes listening to similar stories, but that aren't done in song form. In fact, I think this one is probably done a bit more in depth, and I believe he goes on to state that he made a mistake in it, but to be honest, over my head, just sounds really cool, and I love the idea that I can name the parts of the constituent parts of a proton and neutron and electron based on up, down, strange charm, top, bottom. Anyway, that was first article. Next article. NASA finds signs of possible aurora on isolated planet. Okay, so let me see. During the week, I saw a video saying, "Oh, there are lights on another planet, and NASA has just discovered it." And it's like, okay, if NASA just discovered lights on another planet, that can't be right. Like, surely I would have been getting that like fed down my throat by all these news articles around the world finding an aurora on another planet is a completely different story. Basically they found electromagnetic waves in the surface of the planet, makes it shiny and does colourful things, which is awesome. You know, I love it, and it's amazing that they can do that. But it's not the same thing as the TikTok / shorts feed video nonsense science that I was getting fed. So yeah, it just poppycock or crap, whatever way or term you want to use. So that helped. That's why I had to look that up, and that's why it was in my feed. And as soon as I saw Aurora and whatever, I was like, okay, I'll just save that for my video, because I'm planning on saving these things for you guys, you 10, 20 that end up watching. But you know, it's nice that I actually have somebody to talk to about this, because God knows my wife's not going to listen to it, and my kids aren't old enough to listen to it. So, moving on. Radiance Field nerfs. Okay, so I saw some cool things in nerfs this week. And I didn't read this one. I haven't read most of these articles, that's why they're in there sitting as well. So, let's have a look. With the rise of editable nerfs, I saw, okay, we might have this article up twice from 2 different places. With the rise of editable nerf methods last year, such as Instruct Nerf to Nerf and In-Paint Nerf 360, the industry has been eagerly anticipating advancements in 3D scene editing. A promised goal was the creation of ControlNet-style editable nerfs. Now, if you're not familiar with ControlNet, I'm personally familiar with it from Comfy UI, or Stable Diffusion, or Animate Diff, or an Automatic 1111. Where you can select a section of a painting, and then you can say, hey, I want this to be like this instead. So like, you know, add cat ears to me, or something else. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing a robe because, I'm wearing a blanket because I always like to wear a robe. I've been wearing a robe no matter the temperature for years and years, and my wife doesn't like the fact that my current robe smells, so it's now gone missing, and I'm hoping to see it again someday. The method specifically uses in-painting version of ControlNet with Stable Diffusion XL, as I said, Stable Diffusion Web UI, API, and Diffusers Library. Anyway, let's have a look. It looks cool. I've seen this. So change this into something else, or add a bunny, apparently. Oh, cool. Now, isn't that cool? Like, you have, okay. So I was with Dream Gaussian when it first came out, and it was based off of Gaussian splatting in the first place. But the idea was that in this case, look at this. This is what I saw. This is actually really cool. Change it into a polar bear. You know, okay. Imagine that you're doing a tour for like people in virtual reality or augmented reality, and say, hey, I don't like the shape of this wall, or I want to see what it looks like when I have this particular issue over here, or blah blah blah, and they want to say, hey, can we change it to be like this so I can see it? And you can just type in a command, and then boom, you got that up and running. Like I imagine in this case for, you know, big giant buildings where, you know, the company is about to go bankrupt, and they want to have a fountain outside, and they want it to be the coolest, you know, bankruptcy fountain that a company ever has. Sorry, I bring that up because like I read something years ago about like a company is about to go bankrupt when it starts building fountains. Yeah, but on the other hand, you know, add a Batman suit to a man, put it in 3D. You know, this stuff looks mediocre now, but 6 months ago it was impossible, and in a few more months it might be cinema quality. So imagine fixing a movie and adding components or new things into a movie that should have been there for a situation, or even removing something entirely in editing. I just think this is fucking cool. Just look at that. There are companies working on similar software with top-end engineers and PhD candidates, and then next thing you know, an open source tool comes popping out or something else like out there that just allows people to start doing it for free, completely negating these like massive engineering teams that are building their own. And it's wonderful for the consumer, wonderful for individuals, where when you get an Apple phone or your Mac, and I'm emphasizing Apple and Mac right now because I'm quite annoyed at Microsoft and Google and Samsung. Like, they're really letting me down as one of these guys out in the field looking at this kind of stuff all the time. I see all these tutorials from other like awesome tech guys online, and the first thing I look for now is the three dots up in the left hand corner to see if they're using a Mac. And then the next thing I look for is when they send me a link to a GitHub repository, the amount of issues that I'm going to see. And invariably those issues belong to Windows PC users, and it's just horrible. I'm just pissed off. Sorry, excuse my language. I don't know if I can excuse my language because I'm probably going to swear a lot more in this article or video. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, the reason I'm annoyed, by the way, at Windows and Microsoft in particular, is that they've got. I saw this chart the other day. Okay, right there. Just open it up. Who has bought the most H100 cards from NVIDIA? I don't know if this is going to come up. Did come up in images. Most GPUs. Microsoft. Micro. Microsoft. Meta. Amazon. Google. The image I saw was a lot more clear, but basically Meta and Microsoft have 150,000 of the latest GPUs from NVIDIA, and then way down below is Google at 50,000, and with the same as Amazon, and it goes all the way down to like 10,000 with Baidu and the like. So what's annoying me is that I think that Microsoft is basically just running ChatGPT on their servers and maybe making a few cool things like Phi 2 model, and they're probably going to come out with something cool eventually. But for me, the consumer working on my 3080, trying to run some of these things, as like half the products don't actually work. Which brings me on to the next subject. Okay, we forget about this, actually. I'll come back to that in a minute. Delivery firm's AI chatbot goes rogue, curses a customer, and criticizes company. Misleading title. They're using the Grok AI, and the customer provoked it into calling it these things, and everybody found it funny. So the ex account of the global company's branch in Netherlands responded that they still had a chat feature with human individuals. The chat conversation to X, formerly Twitter, on Thursday. I don't know how long we're going to be seeing this, formerly Twitter. We all know it as X now. Let's move on. Just because media people are butthurt. Not that I give a damn, to be honest. Okay, this is the subject that has blown me away or irritated me. So, Pinocchio, absolutely amazing. If you're using Apple or a Linux machine only, and you want to run like the really cool tech like face fusion and like adding faces in video polls, and it's not a one-click run, okay? It's not. It's just that's just false advertising, and it's a load of rubbish. It's multiple one-clicks, and it's not very hard one-clicks. It's like install, run, start, boom, easy, right? But if you're using a Windows machine, not going to work. I made another bitch fest video about this already, but this one just really irritated me because I actually ended up reading some Reddit reviews on why I was having issues, and apparently somebody working at Pinocchio was laughing at people that are like me working on trying to get this stuff to work. It's like they think we're ridiculous thinking that we can actually run this stuff. whereas I can actually run these things individually in Stable Diffusion, Comfy UI, Automatic 1111, but I can't run it very easily in here. Now, very nicely, this one works pretty well. Comes up a bit weird, to be honest, but I guess this is the one that I think it was Samsung and Google kind of used. They've used an upscaled version of it, I believe, or they did something else entirely for their latest S24 event, which is a bloody cool phone. But you know what I really like, and I know everybody else online has started hearing about it, is the Rabbit-R 1. The Rabbit-R 1 is now just added in the ability to have Perplexity. Now, I was using Perplexity when it first came out, and I kind of just stopped using it, and I don't know why. I guess I like picking up the articles myself, but I hear positive things about Perplexity all the time. The Rabbit-R 1 costs $199, I believe, and Perplexity, it costs about $20 per month, and they're going to give you a year's subscription to Perplexity if you buy one of these Rabbit-R 1s. So that's $20 multiplied by 12, which is $240 for a $199 product. You're basically getting this for free if you go on to the Perplexity service. Now, yes, you will end up paying $20 extra a year for Perplexity afterwards if you want to keep that feature, but you know, how many of you are already using GPT-4 or paying however much else that you're using out there for search and blah blah blah. I'm sure not all of you are using it, but like, it's a good deal. You know, just get the next bloody R2 when it comes out next year for the same bloody cost. And then you're going to be, you know, saving on another year's subscription with Perplexity, I guess. But I don't want the phone. I really don't. I really feel as though this feckin' thing should be able to do what that damn thing does, because this thing costs feckin' 8 times more than that damn thing there. But no, right? Okay. I'm just so annoyed at Google and Microsoft, just like letting their customers hang out to dry when they should be leading the charge. Okay, so moving on, a method to straighten curved space-time. Now, okay, one of the greatest challenges of modern physics is to find a coherent method for describing phenomena on the cosmic and microscale. Yes, okay, so we can't bring black holes and quantum physics together properly, I think, or like normal physics. For over 100 years, to describe reality on a cosmic scale, we have been using general relativity, which has successfully undergone repeated attempts at falsification. Albert Einstein curved space-time to describe gravity, and despite still open questions about dark matter or dark energy, it seems today to be the best method of analyzing the past and future of the universe. True. To describe phenomena on the scale of atoms, we use the second great theory, quantum mechanics, which differs from general relativity in basically everything. It uses flat space-time and completely different mathematical apparatus, and most importantly, perceives reality radically differently. In the quantum description, the phenomena around us are only wavering possibilities of events that we can only measure with limited accuracy. Now, I got 192 subscribers. I would say half of my subscribers have come from the videos of me and my family, and some of them from the gaming stuff that I've done, and some of them from the large language model stuff. And I'm not going to make a blanket statement, but I would say a lot of you don't know about quantum mechanics and general relativity, at least to the level that I do. If you really want to find somebody that's really awesome at explaining some of this stuff, it's a guy called he makes What to Math on YouTube. And he's a really lovely guy, and math. Okay, now he just goes on to Spacetime and Anton Petrov, really nice guy and great to listen to. And you know, this stuff takes years of just like pushing it through your brain, but basically in this case, if you look up at the double slit experiment and you see that something that it explains that something is supposed to be like a particle, but it ends up being like a wave, especially when you're not looking at it. Or when it says not looking at it, it means you're not using a detector on it, which then collapses the wave function to force it to be into what you would expect it to normally be, which would be like particles. Then this is where you get onto people picking that apart and going, hey, let's talk about the brain and chakras and all that kind of other stuff. Basically, it's theoretically possible to have an electron in a probabilistic position, because as soon as you know where its position is, it could be in multiple different positions. Because to measure it, it's so small, hitting it with a photon will force you to know where it is or was when you measured it, but not where it is in the future. I may not be explaining this correctly, and I don't think I ever will be able to explain it correctly, but basically, you know where the moon is going to be, you don't know where the fucking electron is going to be, and you use different mathematics for different ones, and the two of them don't merge together very well. Okay. So, can curved space-time be straightened? It turns out that there is a certain mathematical object called the Elena tensor, which allows the description of physical phenomena in such a way that the curvature of space-time can be smoothly adjusted as if using a slider. As a curved surface space-time equation naturally transforms into Einstein field equations, and in flat space-time it allows the use of classical methods of relativistic physics, and most importantly, it is subject to quantum description. That sounds cool. Okay. So it can be described quantumly, and you can bring up the slider on how the mathematics is working, and it moves into general relativity. Cool. So far, I have managed to demonstrate that such a space-time slider works for gravity and electromagnetism, and that the Elena tensor allows to add further fields. Therefore, it seems possible to reconcile previously contradictory descriptions for other known fields. A side effect of using the above method is that a certain element of the equation, the field invariant, behaves like a cosmological constant in Einstein field equations, which may help explain the nature of dark energy. It also turns out that there must be an additional force in addition to gravity which could help explain the nature of dark matter. However, everything that looks beautiful has its place. What is the universe around us? The conclusions of this article do not mean the end of work on combining both great theories. The proposed method requires much further. To be honest, it doesn't really go in an article published in Frontiers in Physics. I managed to demonstrate that there is a method that combines. Okay, I'm just gonna have to have a look. Not that we're gonna go through it all. Okay. Piotr Ogonowski. Sounds like it would be the kind of person that would, solve this kind of problem. And he's writing the kind of mathematics that I haven't got a clue about that would explain it. The stress energy tensor for a system with an electromagnetic field in a given spacetime described by a metric tensor is equal to this. The remaining mass density y of the rods. Lagrangian density of this for the system. When I'm thinking of the Lagrangian density, I'm thinking of the Lagrange points, but who knows? Null areas of gravitational effect due to the balance of gravity between the sun and the moon, or the sun and the earth and the moon, and you have L1, L2, L3, L4, and that kind of thing. Point-like particles and a quantum picture. QED. I'm just going to do a search now on this, because QED meaning, it's always pissed me off. I've heard it so many times. Quod erat demonstratatum. demonstrandum, quod erat demonstratum. So it's like, written or said after an argument to show that you have proved something that you wanted to prove. Okay, cool. I kind of got that last part. I knew what it was for, but I didn't know how to say it, and I've completely forgotten now that it's not on the page anymore. Condition 21 leads to the electromagnetic for potential for which some gauge may be expressed. It simplifies a linear tensor to a familiar form, and both the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian density for the system with the electromagnetic field appears to be related to the invariant and electromagnetic field tensor. The above would also simplify the Lagrangian density used in QED, assuming that there is only the electromagnetic field in the system and substituting lambda something or other for the current. Okay, let's be clear, no clue. Let's take him at his word that he's got something cool and it's worth investigating by somebody better than me. At this stuff, at least. Oh, that's the straightening of space-time again? Yeah, okay. It's also a misleading article, isn't it? The straightening of space-time, when really, and they're just like changing the tensor value for how certain phenomena works from a quantum level to a more non-quantum level. But, the SEO or search engine optimization for articles online. NVIDIA researchers developed and open sourced a standardized machine learning framework for time series forecasting benchmarking. Data training inference tuner. I feel as though this one might be a harder article to read than the last one. Time series forecasting is a critical area with wide-ranging applications in finance, weather prediction, and demand forecasting. Despite significant advancements, challenges persist, particularly in creating models that handle complex data features like trends, noise, and evolving relationships. Okay, first of all, just before I continue, demand forecasting. The whole world was coming out of COVID, and that fuckhead Putin decided to go along and cause another war that ended up destroying the economy in the whole Eastern Europe and making things a lot more difficult. Try and forecast that shit, and you're talking about Harry Seldon's foundation series, psychohistory style stuff. Okay, sorry, I should focus on reading the article. Traditionally, time series forecasting has relied on methods like gradient boosting machines, GBM, and deep learning models. GBMs are favored for their effectiveness, especially in competition settings like Kaggle, but they require substantial feature engineering and expertise. Despite their promise, deep learning models have seen less independent use, primarily due to limitations in data availability and complexity of their implementation. TSPP introduces a benchmarking framework that facilitates integrating and comparing various models and datasets. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take it at its word. In conclusion, the key takeaways from the introduction of the TSPP framework. Next one. I have no idea why OBS was shutting down on me there, and I apologize if part of the stream was lost. Basically, I had a headache from reading the last article. Speech-to-text technology has become vital for accessibility and efficiency. You know what I didn't know, right? You have Whisper, and I've used it now a lot recently, and it's maintained or helped by OpenAI, and basically takes your file or your text and then puts it onto the server and then comes back down to you as an MP3 or MP4 or something like that, and then you have to use that to output the sound that you want. And that's how ChatGPT on the phone ends up communicating and talking with you. That's kind of shit. I don't like that. I would like, and I wanted to use it on my own PC more easily, But once again, speech recognition on Windows is not exactly easy to set up unless you're doing it in a particular environment like Unity, which then it actually is quite easy. But doing it like natively is a pain in the ass. I found it hard on Electron, and I found it easy in the browser. But it's not easy overall. And I don't mean like solving it, but I just mean using the damn thing. It's very irritating. I used OpenAPI, Whisper, Tiny, and Llama 2 7b to match the MacBook's performance capabilities. However, this comes with translation accuracy and depth trade-offs compared to the larger Llama 2 70b and Whisper large model, reflecting a necessary compromise in this experiment. This experiment tests the feasibility of using large language models for translation on a MacBook Pro. Guarantee you wouldn't be able to do the same damn thing on a PC due to Microsoft and Google being lazy bums when it comes to doing some of the stuff for the actual consumer. They're all about figuring out what to do in the next 20 years, like Google 20 years and Microsoft 5 to 10 years. And the only company out there that's actually worth its salt right now that I care about, and I didn't know I was going to care about it, is Meta. Meta is actually out there doing some good stuff, producing, for example, the Llama 2 model and Llama 3 coming out with AGI. Thank you very much. Mark Zuckerberg is coming out as the hero in the situation. This is the guy that we were all calling Lizard Man 10 years ago. He's now the actual greatest guy on the whole scene. And this is all thanks to Elon Musk challenging him to a fight and then ending up bitching out of it because he realized, oh shit, that man trains. And Elon Musk has a big fat belly on him. Not that I'm against Elon Musk all the time, but it's just like, why would you try to do that? Okay, you're desperate to want to punch Mark Zuckerberg in the face. Fine. Just weird. Ever since it's been like this, and yeah. Anyway. Approach. Set up a Llama AI. Yeah, I did this myself. Set up Whisper and Llama 2 7b models on MacBook right now. Use the Whisper model to convert speech from a webinar snippet into a text. Yeah, I've done that myself. Use Llama 2 7b model to translate this transcribed text. Why? Why would you do this? What was the result? The Whisper model's performance in transcribing English text is impressive, showcasing accuracy. Our experiment with OpenAI's Whisper on MacBook. So the Llama model is doing what now? It's just like summarizing everything for you? Translate the text using Llama 2 7b into what? To initiate the translation, append. Translate this English. Oh, okay. Okay. This is not a bad thing. Right? This is actually pretty damn good. But yeah, it feels like as in 4th of December. Okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that this is. Why did I have this in the feed? Sorry. I think it's definitely a good use case. But now you can literally do that on the fly, and it'll be on phones all really soon. So I can see why it got 6 claps. Let's give him 7. Let's move on. Where am I? Marker post, speech recognition, glass power. This is probably just more of a me thing. Having a browser that could actually you could see through. I like that they're doing the. See this here. Oh, it's actually a real rocket launch, SpaceX. Of course. Okay. Let's go down. Oh, AI waifu. Yeah, I was playing around with this kind of thing myself to try and make it work. And yeah, I did. I actually got it working. The EO model that I made using Llama, just gave it a different system prompt, connected it up to 11 Labs, got it to chat for me, and it was pretty good. My computer's a 3080 Ti, so the model isn't that fast. And connecting it up to Whisper was pointless because it would take too bloody long. 11 Labs was actually faster, but ended up with a glitchy voice sometimes, so maybe not the greatest, but it was pretty good. Marker post, code generation, probably more important. 6 AI tools. 6 AI models / tools for code generation. I'm just going to guess before I look down. GPT Pilot, which God knows why. I did 3 videos on GPT Pilot, and people have been watching those videos more than any other videos that I make. And each of the videos I made was a complete and utter failure, and unfixable failures as well, because it did in some cases so much work I couldn't find the solution, and I didn't have time or energy to find it. Like just about my life, I had my kids from 8 o'clock in the morning. It's great, they slept in, till 9 o'clock at night, 13-hour day, constantly. And then I go off and I start doing some code. I lay on the floor over here with my pillow, charging my phone, while I was thinking, I'm supposed to be doing stuff right now. I should be online, should be making videos. But I lost my train of thought. Okay, GPT Pilot. You guys love it. I don't love it. I think that it would be awesome if it was out of alpha, and I'm willing to give it a go then. Copilot, they always mention Copilot because somebody from Microsoft is probably paying them to use it and say it. ChatGPT will always come up with that thing. Okay, let's see. Code Geek. Okay, Salesforce Code Gen. Well, I'm a little surprised with Salesforce. There's Copilot. I got one of them. Okay, Code T5 Plus is an advanced open code large language model introduced by Salesforce Research. So Salesforce are again in 2 of them. Salesforce CodeGen is a large language model facilitating conversational AI programming. It operates as an AI pair programmer, converting natural language descriptions, blah blah. CodeGen allows users to describe coding tasks to the machine instead of manually writing code. Yeah. Code Geek GX is hosted on Hugging Face Spaces. Yeah. Okay. CodeBERT is a pre-trained model designed for programming languages, specifically trained on NLPL pairs, 6 languages. Okay. DuckArg simplifies the creation of Python and C programs that accept command lines. Code T5 Plus is an advanced open source target language model introduced by Salesforce Research. So 2 Salesforce ones, 1 Microsoft one. Where do you work? I was just going to check whether or not she worked at Salesforce. Okay, cool. Moving on. Hugging Face papers. So Hugging Face, unsupervised universal image segmentation. I need to see an example. Okay, several unsupervised image segmentation approaches have been proposed which eliminate the need for dense manually annotated segmentation masks. Current models separately handle either semantic segmentation or class agnostic instance segmentation, but not both. Panoptic segmentation, we propose an unsupervised universal segmentation model adept at performing various image segmentation tasks, instance methods, semantic and panoptic, using novel unified framework. U2SEG generates pseudo-semantic labels for these segmentation tasks by leveraging self-supervised models followed by clustering. Each cluster represents different semantic and or instance membership of pixels. We then self-train the model on these pseudo-semantic labels, yielding substantial performance gains over specialized methods tailored to each task. Cutler in unsupervised instance segmentation on Cocoa and a 7-pixel ACC increase in unsupervised semantic segmentation on Cocoa Stuff Moreover, our method sets up a new baseline for unsupervised panoptic segmentation which has not been previously explored. U2SEG is also a strong pre-trained model for few shot segmentation, surpassing Cutler and okay. From what I gleaned from that, they're taking a segment of the actual video or of an image and then associating that with the associating each segment of that. Okay, so you can break up an image into different segments, and let's say it's an arm, so it then identifies that this is an arm based on its own guess, and then how many and then associates how much of this is an actual arm and then labels that. Cool, that sounds like a pretty good idea. It does annoy me that I think in the next year or so we're going to see a gigantic increase in the power of these segmentation models, and again we have to thank Meta for giving this segment anything model. Now I know there's a lot of other contributors out there, like Coco for example. YOLO works off of Coco. Coco model. I'm not too sure what to look up for this. Coco Chanel, I guess. AI Vision Model Creator. How to train object detector. What is Coco dataset? Yes, so there's a Coco dataset, and this probably I would have assumed should be something by Google. Yeah, anyway, big giant dataset. Should be able to use this dataset to start labeling and naming things, and then that labeling and naming things then should be able to find the difference between two different things and start using self-supervised training to better improve itself. And then in the worst case scenario they ask a human to help out, you know. Next, Cog VLM and Cog Agent. Why do I have this on here? Cog VLM is a powerful open source visual language model. Oh, cool. Cog VLM 17B, that explains why I'm not using it. I need to use something like 7B or less. Has 10 billion visual parameters and 7 billion language parameters, supporting image understanding and multi-turn dialogue with a resolution of 490 by 490. So here's your shitty little image that they can take in and they can talk about what you see for a massive 17 billion and 7, so 24 billion parameter model, which would mean that you need at least a 24 gigabyte VRAM card, which is a 4090, which puts me out of being able to look at this stuff unless I go for a Jupyter notebook or a RunPod or Visceral or Vercel or something like that, which I can't do. I need a job to pay for it. Co-Agent is an open source visual language model improved based on Cog VLM. Cog Agent 18B has an 11 billion visual parameters and 7 billion language models. So this is 18 billion overall, okay? That's not so bad. Oh, so sorry, this is 17, yeah, either way, it's still big. And, oh, Cog Agent is a bit bigger. A resolution of 1120 by 1120. On top of the capabilities of Cog VLM, it further possesses GUI image agent capabilities. Cog Agent 18B achieves state-of-the-art generalist performance on 9 classic cross-model benchmarks. I'm really only familiar with Clip, Lava, and Coco, YOLO. Do you have a demo online? LFDEMO. Web demo. I like these crafts. This option uses cog VLM chat and cog VLM grounding model. Please upload an image to start. So this is a Space Marine Salamander from Warhammer 40k. I doubt it should have any clue about what we're looking at. If it does, go and have a look at cog VLM. What is in the picture? This is a green armored soldier in the picture, holding a yellow stick in his hand. It's a hammer, but the armor has a pattern and the soldier is wearing a helmet. Damn, that was quick too. That was cog VLM. Which one is the bad one? That was cog. Okay, wow, okay, let's have a look at the other one. That was impressive. Cog agent, okay. Well, what is in the picture? There's a green armored soldier in the picture holding a yellow stick in his hand. The armor is the stick a hammer upside down. Okay, but I like this. That was good. I like that. Cog VLM, cog agent. I'm definitely saving that for myself. Let's moving on. Code generation, working face papers, cog VLM, market. Okay, we're almost at the end. You can, I'm sure you can turn off whenever you like. Researchers from Tsinghua University and Jipu AI introduced Cog Agent, a revolutionary visual language model for enhanced GUI interaction. Basically what we just looked at. It is revolutionary, I will give you that. This is actually very cool. This explains how it works. Cog Agent's architecture features a unique resolution cross module, which is key to its performance. The module enables the model to efficiently handle high resolution inputs. Mine was 500 by 500, so which is crucial for recognizing small GUI elements in text. This approach addresses the common issue of managing high resolution images in VLMs, which typically result in a prohibitive computational demands. The model thus strikes a balance between high resolution processing and computational efficiency, paving the way for more advanced GUI interpretation. Wow. I don't understand that part. I think that like more advanced or more speedy GUI resolution. The research can be summarized in a nutshell as follows. Go Agent represents a significant leap in VLMs, especially in contexts involving GUIs. Its innovative approach to processing high-resolution images in a manageable computational framework sets it apart from existing methods. I don't know what it's running in the background, but I do know that when I run El Lava, I'm waiting half an hour for an image that's about half the size of what we just gave it. The model's impressive performance across diverse benchmarks underscores its applicability and effectiveness in automating and simplifying GUI-related tasks. Huh. I have somebody watching me. Hi, nice to meet you. Say hi if you want. I appreciate having a good chat. A comprehensive guide to implement Hugging Face models using LangChain. Now all these articles are in my book, or my description, so fucking thing. Okay, pip install transformers, sentence transformers, bits and bytes, accelerate, pip install llama ccp python, prompt query response, Hugging Face using inference API. Who is Elon Musk? Are you allowed to write down charlatan? Okay. Using Hugging Face's transformers pipeline, one can easily pick any top performing language models: Llama 2 70B, Falcon 180B, Mistral 7B. The inference script is less than 5 lines of code, as not all can afford to use an A100 or V100 GPUs. Hugging Face provides free inference API access tokens to implement a few models from Hugging Face Hub. The most preferred model in this case is the 7B model. Llama CPP is used when you need to run a large language model, large language models on the CPU. Currently, the Llama CPP is only supported with GGUF model files. It is recommended to follow the prompt template to run the predict. Okay. Now, I find that this is quite good for such a small amount of code that you need to run it. But I think this kind of thing has been around for a while. But yeah. So moving on. More papers. Sorry, I have very boring tastes in stuff sometimes, so what I'm looking at is just stuff that has blown my mind away, or I need to read more about it. I2V adapter or 12V adapter, a general image to video adapter for video diffusion models. Video diffusion models, okay. In the rapidly evolving domain of digital content generation, the focus has shifted from text-image models to more advanced video diffusion models, notably text-to-video and image-to-video. The paper addresses the intricate challenge posed by image-to-video, it's not 12, I2V, converting static images into dynamic, lifelike video sequences. At this point, I'm needing pictures. It's 1 a.m. This Santa seems okay. This Santa and that one scare me. Gallons of water are pouring down on Haley Steinfeld's head, soaking wet full body. Ah, it's missing the full body part, isn't it? Live took a reaction. Input image, okay. This is actually really good. When did this come out? December 28th. Look forward to seeing that being used soon. Next one. This AI paper introduces the forget filter, a machine learning algorithm that filters unsafe data based on how strong the model's forgetting signal is for that data. Filters unsafe data. Okay. People have found safety training on LLMs can be easily undone through fine-tuning. How can we ensure safety and customize LLM fine-tuning while making fine-tuning still useful? Well, here is something that you could look at. bunkerdocs.com, where you have retrieval augmented generation. Based on your own documentation, you can produce a search result that gives you the exact thing that you need to look at and also shows you the source at which you got that information. Fine tuning is a load of bollocks for a lot of different things, but it's, pretty cool, but not completely necessary. And a lot of work. When you have a document, it can go read through things that are like that and searching for it in the document and go, here's where I found it and this is what I think about this. This is makes me grumpy. Spacetime Gaussians. Spacetime Gaussian feature splatting for real-time dynamic view synthesis. Oh yeah, I was working on making this. I didn't realize I had this on my phone for so long. I really like it. It's kind of like the Matrix effect for the bullet being shot and they have like 20 cameras around all at the same time taking a picture of the same thing, but now it's in real time. But yeah, I tried getting it set up and it's a pain in the ass. I would avoid looking at Spacetime Gaussian personally. But it looks cool. It does look cool. But it's kind of hard to know that you're looking at it, you know what I mean? Next, nature.com. Enhancing spatial resolution in Fourier transform infrared spectral image via machine learning algorithms. Oh, the sentence gave me a headache. Enhancing spatial resolution, cool. In Fourier transform infrared spectral image. So the Fourier transform spectral image is going to be improved. Just give me the conclusion. Oh, okay. Oh, not really. Conclusion. By combining unsupervised machine learning algorithms such as SVD and NMF, the effective noise reduction can be achieved through dimensionality reduction of Fourier transform infrared spectral image data, which can dramatically reduce the frequency of physical measurements, which are typically repeated dozens of times to improve signal-to-noise ratio in the composite sample composed of PTFE and PAI. Vital indicators such as the distribution of CF bond and aromatic ring signatures exhibit notable similarities after undergoing data processing by machine learning. Okay, so your predator vision can be improved by the effective noise reduction through dimensional reduction. So by making it simpler, they're making it easier. I.e. simpler, easier to get your results. That's enough for me. I just gonna trust them. And the last one. Langsplat. Okay. Why am I reading this? 24 gigabyte VRAM, so it's something I can't really run. Gonna have to glean, segment anything, Langsplat. Is this gonna do the same thing as the other one that we saw? 3D scene tea time. The repository contains the official author's implementation. Langsplat language Gaussian, which can be found here. We further provide the pre-processed data sets. Come on. Abstract introduction. Conclusion. Currently I'm just seeing segment anything model. 3D OVS. Hours. Ground truth. I'm not seeing any feckin' difference. I am not seeing a difference. Like this one RD OVS is bad. Okay? Oh, is it? There's actually a dot thing down there which it found, which this one didn't and that one didn't. There's a shiny bit here. I'm willing to believe that there is something here. Or here, I should say. Okay, so it better be about efficiency. Human lives in a 3D world and commonly uses natural language to interact with a 3D scene. Models in a 3D language field to support open-ended language queries in 3D has gained increasing attention recently. This paper introduces Langsplat, which constructs a 3D language field that enables precise and efficient open vocabulary querying within 3D spaces. Unlike existing methods that ground clip language embeddings in a NeRF model, the Langsplat advances the field of utilizing a collection of 3D Gaussians, each encoding language vector features distilled from clip to represent the language field. By employing a tiled-based splatting technique for rendering language features, we circumvent the costly rendering process inherent in NeRF instead of directly learning clip embeddings. The Langsplat first trains a scene-wise language autoencoder and then learns language features on the scene-specific latent space, thereby alleviating substantial memory demands imposed by explicit modeling. The existing methods struggle with imprecise and vague 3D language fields, which fail to discern clear boundaries between objects. We delve into this issue and propose to learn hierarchical semantics using segment anything model, thereby eliminating the need for extensive querying the language field across various scales and the regularization of Dino features. The do it now, I think. Extensive experiments on open source vocabulary, 3D object localization, and semantic segmentation demonstrate that Langsplat significantly outperforms the previous state-of-the-art method LERF by a large margin. Notably, Langsplat is extremely efficient, achieving a 199 times speed compared to LERF at the resolution of 1444 by 1080. We strongly recommend readers to check out our video results here. And that's where we came from, isn't it? Should have had that on the GitHub. And what we were looking at earlier with the 3D Gaussian object. Can I get it now more? Some good shit. Well, all the articles are in the video. I think this kind of thing blew me away the most, actually, where I was able to find the different pieces of food inside the soup. So I am glad that I went through all those articles without just deleting them and not using them anymore. So it was a job I probably didn't get. Fortunately, your job application for senior machine learning engineer, blah blah blah. Yes, I know. ABC. And so the story goes on. Yeah, well, thank you all for having a look at me rant about my problems and clear out my browser history. It'll be probably another couple of weeks or a month before I come back and have a look at it again. I do not go off looking for this stuff. It's just stuff I can't get out of my mind, and this has been quite therapeutic to clear out the clutter on my phone. So I appreciate you coming to have a look with me, and I hope the very best for you guys and myself in particular. I really do hope the very best for me. That would be pretty cool.